All right, Grand Slam track is about to kick off in less than a month, coming up in on April, was it April 4th? And they finally announced all the athletes. We got the racers, we have all the challengers, at least that are going to be going down. They're going to be competing in Kingston, Jamaica on this first Grand Slam. So the fields are filled up, all the names are there. We know everyone is going to be competing. So we can dive in and like maybe break down some of these fields. I think a question is like, can any of these challengers who are going to be lining up, can they take down any of the racers who are like the contracted Grand Slam track racers, the ones we know who are going to be at every single slam? Can any of the challengers actually take some of these racers down? But I don't know. What do you think initially when you kind of looking through? We got some challenges and racers.
Well, I mean, off the rip, I mean, because we're gonna go race for race or kind of
Yeah,
group for group. I mean, I call them the weight classes of track and field. That's what Grand Slam track invented, essentially. But even
yeah.
beyond that, when you ask the question, can some go down? I'm like, well, what do you mean? Do some of the racers lose, or do you mean like the best athlete? Because some of these have clear favorites.
It's true.
Sydney, we're looking at you. So with that in mind, it's like, yeah, what exactly do you mean by that?
Well, okay, not the clear favorites, but some of the racers. Because in my mind, it's like, all right, the racers are the best of the best, right? They were signed by Grand Slam Track. There's a reason they were signed and announced first. And then the challengers are like, I'm trying to take your spot. Like, I'm trying to prove that I belong here, that I should have been a racer. So if I'm looking at, a Fred Kerley, a world champion, two-time Olympic medalist, he's like a guy. He's an A-lister. But can someone who's a challenger take his spot, or can someone at least beat him in Kingston to prove that like, okay, maybe I should be a racer, moving
Oh,
forward or something like that.
well, I mean, again, like even when you bring that up, I mean, we talked about this on another episode.
Hmm.
We also, so let's go there. We know there are gaping holes in certain event groups, certain athletes who are missing. So the field we're looking at, that's the conversation we're having. But then there's who's not in the field. And yeah, I think we might as well bring them up as well while we're going through them. Like if they're the name that we think probably belongs there, that isn't there, then yeah, I think you bring it up. But all right, so let's just let's start at the top and roll our way down. We
Okay.
literally we looking just right the way Sidious gave it to us.
We
You
got it.
know, like let's just go through it. I'm looking at the men's short sprints. We know the racers I know off head. So we've got to recap: Kenny Bednarek, Fred Kerley, Oblique Seville, Jarnell Hughes. In no particular order. It's just how they wrote it.
That's how it
Now,
is.
and the challengers. Okay, well, you got the same list, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We got Courtney Lindsay as a challenger. We got Ackeem Blake. We got Terrence Jones, and we have Joseph Fambule. It's a pretty interesting set of challengers. This is a pretty interesting set. I like that these are. I feel like the men's short sprints is actually pretty competitive across the board. I would say it's like evenly matched with some folks, but like when this isn't a Sydney McLaughlin-Maroney situation. This is like, all right, we could see some challengers actually take down some of these racers. That's what I'm
Well,
thinking.
okay, so let's go first. Let's do it like a bracket.
Mm.
Do it like a bracket. And so was it a racers bracket and the challengers bracket? So, and we're thinking 100, 200. So I'm actually gonna reverse the order, and I'm doing it for a reason. Who's winning the 200? Say it with me.
It's Kenny B.
All right then.
It's
So
easily.
the only discussion we're having is who's second, because I just don't expect any of these men to beat him in a 200.
Nah.
I will say this part because somebody has to. I heard Fred Carley explain it. I heard him explain a little bit of it, but I still will not back down that all conventional wisdom says that the 200-meter world record should be his, or at
Fred
least somewhat
Kerley?
dangerously close. Because if you can go that fast in the one and that fast in the four, it seems like
Yeah.
conventional wisdom is that you meet in the middle and there you go. That's your race. He just never runs the first half of the two for varying reasons that I don't understand all of them. I understand some of them as they might have been explained to me. I get it. It's not just common sense, dumb idiot logic. However, to the untrained eye, it does feel like the 200 should be his best event. So anyway, that's on the table. It is what it is.
Okay.
But
Okay.
after that, I mean, we know Jarnell can run the two.
He can, but
I
he's
mean,
he was
I'm gonna go.
okay. He's had some injuries last year, so I don't know right now.
I
We're talking
mean,
about, yeah.
okay, well, well, that's another thing. when you have these conversations, are we going to talk about this in the vacuum of it's April and nah, fam? We talking about this like we racing. If this
True,
is
true,
pro
true,
track,
true,
I'm gonna bring that
true.
energy. If this is pro track and the plan is for you to go out there and race, this is a race. I need you to go. I need you to give it to me. This is hey, I need you to win this. I'm going to
True,
talk
true,
about
true.
every race with that energy. Because if we never get there, track is never going to make it. I'm going to just keep it a buck. We can't
That's
make it with
true.
this is April. Ain't nobody want to hear that.
Yeah,
Don't
of
nobody
course.
nobody else's sport function like that.
Yeah, everybody
So
is
our sport
on where
can't
they need to
function
be
like that
on.
either. I mean, I get it. I get it. But one day, hopefully soon, we can move it past that to a place where track can be, let's do this. Let's compete.
Yeah.
And the races matter. So if it's Kenny at the top for the
I
two,
think
is
I
anybody
think
else
I think Kenny, and then in my opinion, actually, I think Courtney Lindsay is probably when talking about the two is probably the second best. And then
from
I
last year?
would
Yeah.
yeah, and then because I'm thinking about Courtney, he's run with Kenny pretty frequently. There was last year at the Prefontaine Classic, he was like right behind Kenny. I think at the Doha Diamond League. Also, he's not in this field, but let's see at the Boho. Courtney Lindsay actually beat him last year early in the season. So I feel like Courtney actually is super competitive. And you're talking about a guy who's a challenger here, and he didn't make the world championship team last year or the Olympic team last year. So he's coming in like, yo,
Individually.
individually, yes, of course, he was on the relay that didn't work out at the that never works out. But I feel like Courtney, he's hungry. Like he's not coming into this. I feel like Courtney feels like he wanted to be a racer and he should have been a racer. So I
Yeah,
think
but I mean, well, he can want to be a racer. But like in the grand scheme, you just said did not make the Olympic team, and I said, okay, he ran a relay, and now we talking about I should be a racer. I mean, if Grand Slam track is only the fastest, then no, you wasn't supposed to be a racer. Not yet.
well, well,
That's what they
okay,
said. It's not my tagline. It's their tagline. Only the fastest.
okay. In this rate, in this competition, though, like, are you picking Oblique and Zarnell? And I know we've been talking
No,
Kenny with the 200. You picking them over Courtney Lindsay?
no. I'm with you. Like Courtney is the second. Is second. I mean, Ackeem Blake wanted to let us know he could run 200s. Terrence Jones is the biggest wild card because he's literally never run a
Mm,
proper outdoor season. He's
mm.
arguably the best indoor sprinter all time. In arguably, I didn't say definitively. Arguably the best indoor sprinter we've had. Like on the short list of the top 5 who've ever run college indoor track.
Yeah, I mean
He's on that
he's
short list. He's probably, if you give me collegiate record in the 60, you went 6,200 NCAA championship. You went like you
I mean
NCAA
you're
twice champion in the 60. Like you give me
yeah,
all of that, then I'd say, like,
you're talking top three. I mean
I mean,
he's indoors, he's crazy.
it's Coleman and Elijah Hall that those are the
And
two.
then even then, Terrence Jones, he has, like you said, back to back indoor titles in the 60, and he has the NCAA record. Like
Yeah.
he's arguably done more than Elijah Hall. But I mean,
Yeah.
but like you said,
But we outdoors.
outdoors, that's
So
the thing. We don't
he's
know.
literally never he can give a fast time.
Yeah. In
He can give
2023,
fast
though,
times.
was it NCAA outdoors? He actually did pretty well. I don't remember the
Well, he
like
ran
what he
991 in a random meet that meant nothing.
at random. But then yeah, that's true. And then the
Like
200,
he's
did do
never
decently.
he's never handled business at NCAA outdoor in the opens because injuries get him. Because remember it's a college
Yeah.
season and he's going super fast through the first half. Like he's been up and down in that regard, but like the talent is undeniable. So
Yeah.
he's the biggest wild card because like this just might be one of those moments where he has a good meet. He gives you 995, 997. We don't know all the conditions and stuff, but let's just say hypothetically he's able to pull that out of his bag. I mean, which wouldn't be totally out of the realm of possibility. So we're on the two, but I'm like, now we focus it on the whole gambit. I mean, I'm gonna just rate the athletes and how I see the composites. This is how I see it. These are my top three. I'm gonna say
Mm.
I'm never gonna disrespect Fred, so I gotta get him in the three. So it's Kenny, Fred, and Courtney. No disrespect to Oblique and Jarnell. I just don't see that the combo between them. I just don't see that yet. They could prove me wrong. They could.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. And Ackeem Blake, I don't believe in the two, but he'll give it a nice little run in the 100. Joseph will be there in the two. Bombele will be there
Yeah.
in the two. In the one, not with this field, I don't think.
Now with this field, the thing that Joe, I don't know what kind of motivation Joe has. I was just remembering Joe Fambule. I don't know if this says more about him or the event as a whole, but he's made every single global final in the 200 since 2021, since the Olympic Games in Tokyo. He's made every single final. So I don't know if that speaks to him being extremely competitive or if like, below the Kennys and the Noahs and the Letziles, then there's like a drop off, but
There is.
he hasn't run sub 20 since he was at Florida. So it's been a while. But
He
I don't
but
know.
he runs the race that he needs to run.
Exactly. So
That he
to
runs the races that need to get run to get
yeah.
to those finals.
So when we're talking about this here with Grand Slam, like yes, I think I'm probably with you on the top three where it's like Kenny, Fred, Courtney. I can maybe interchange Courtney and Fred, but someone like Joe, I feel like he can do some damage. And again, we're going back years, but he was NCAA champion in the 100. Like he has chops there.
I
Again, it's been
mean,
a while,
I
but
hear you, but like again, here's the other thing. As we have, because we got to go through all these different grant groups. Like, this is how we gonna do this. I say going down.
yeah.
Top three.
Okay.
That
Top
think of it
three.
like podium. That's
Okay.
we're picking a podium essentially.
Okay.
We look at the
So
bag and we pick a podium because
so
because
you
after that everybody's squabbling it out and stuff is
that's
gonna
true.
happen. But
That's
like
true.
I don't know if we can reverse this in the track and field community. I just don't see unless we running for more than individuals. If we just running for individuals, top three. Everybody else, y'all just wallpaper. You just out here making look fast.
Oh
Being
man.
honest, I'm not. Somebody in the comment section tell me that I'm wrong. That do you notice the people in sixth and seventh place when there's only 8 people on the track? Somebody tell me because the announcers don't even tell you who's there. They only focus on like they may do like a lineup if they're trying to be special, but for the most part, they don't do a lineup. Like Olympic trials, for example, Noah Lyles is on the track. I remember Sam Blaskowski was in the lane in between him and Kenny, and the
Oh man.
cameraman went whoop,
They,
went
they,
right past him
oh
and
my gosh.
Kenny. It was like they
That's
like
so disrespectful.
we have no notes on you.
We're just gonna
Don't know who
slide
you are,
past.
who you run for.
Oh
We're
my
just gonna
God.
move on
That's so
and skip.
disrespectful.
He was in the lane in between. That's how they do it. So
That's
I don't know
crazy.
how much of that culture we can fight back, like fight against right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I mean, Kenny is the best combo sprinter
Yeah.
here. And assuming he comes to play, which I don't really think I've ever seen him come and just not come to play. Like
No,
that's really
he's
what I'm
always
thinking. Like I feel like I feel like he's the most rock solid, high caliber performer we got. Where
yeah,
if I know I'm getting a good race from him, I don't. He's beatable,
of
but he's
course, of
only
course.
beatable by the highest caliber of talent when they're on it.
Literally, you're literally only talking about you have to be an Olympic gold medalist in either the 100 or the 200 to really say, okay, I can beat Kenny
On any
like
day.
on any day. Any day. So yeah.
Has he lost to anyone who's not those distinctions? I mean, because I don't
No.
remember it, but
No.
like
I mean,
aside
there was
from
obviously
worlds, like
in
worlds
2023,
20, yeah.
but he was like injured that year. So like even the fact that he got to the team, it's like it speaks to okay, he's rock solid. So yeah, out of this field, it's like it's hard to bet against Kenny. But I agree with your top three, but I'll say Kenny, I'm gonna go Courtney number two, and then I'll go Fred Kerley number three. And
So
like
who's
I
the
don't know,
wild card?
the
I'm
wild
gonna give it
card
to
from
Oblique just for fun because it's Jamaica.
to Oblique, I'm giving the wild card to Terrence Jones. That's my wild card
Man,
because,
that's
like you said,
actually yeah, you really throwing it out there.
like you said, we don't know. He's kind of like you
Yeah,
don't know
he's a complete unknown in not just the pro level in outdoor track.
in
He's
outdoor.
never showed us what talent. We just know that if you're this fast indoors, you're supposed to be something special outdoors.
Yeah,
But I will not and I'm not to try to throw Shane and everything. Health is a part of the sport,
it is.
and some people are blessed with not having to worry about certain things. Other people are not. I'm not here to say everything is equal. What I'm here to say is your body is your body, and you better figure it out.
It's true, man.
If you can't
It's
figure it,
so
it's just
true.
part of it's the way the sport goes. If you
You're a
can't
professional. You have to.
like it
Like you
is
have to.
even in college, that's still part of the game. So
True.
some people aren't always available, and there you go. So like we be so focused on what you could do and what you did ain't the same. So evidence did not give me a reason. Ackeem Blake, I'll be honest, I actually trust Ackeem Blake more than Oblique Seville right now. And I know that sounds wild. So I'm
Ooh,
actually going to
that's
change what I
crazy.
said. Because of the 200 we just saw.
Okay, that's okay. Man,
Remember,
but
World
man.
Indoor, because of the 200 we just saw, because again, I don't remember ever saying Oblique Seville's name with a 200.
Nah, I mean,
And
yeah.
the Akeem has already showed us I could run 20 low on that track.
I guess when
So
I'm looking at
he's
it,
coming back to do it again.
that's true. I guess I'm looking at it because they got to run the 100 and the 200. I trust Oblique Seville to finish much higher in the 100 amongst these guys and then finish at least middle of the pack, if not close to Akeem, maybe pass him. So when I'm averaging taking both events, I think Oblique overall is going to be a little bit higher.
But Akeem Blake just won the Diamond League final again too. Fred and Christian.
But I mean,
I'm just
oh,
saying, like let's not act like he not
well,
super legit.
but
He is.
what about the Olympics? What about the World Championships? Like the
I
things
hear
that
you, but this
mattered
ain't
before
that.
Grand Slam.
This is Grand Slam. This
Well,
ain't
but
that.
that's what I mean. It's like the pressure. Like Akeem has not shown up when it count. Oblique, yes, he doesn't have a medal yet, but the times before Grand Slam when it mattered, Oblique at least made it to be like, okay, I can run next to Fred in a true race that matters. Like
Which one did he
that's what
run
I'm thinking
with?
about.
Because I remember Oblique beating Noah, but when did he run against Fred?
Well, I'm saying he made it to the finals at the Olympic Games, at the World Championships.
Yeah,
Akeem
yeah,
Blake
yeah.
hasn't done that yet. So
Yeah. I
now
hear you.
you got to show up when that's what I'm thinking about.
I mean, it goes back to. I hear you. There's two ways you can slice it. I mean, I know made a pick and then I switched back. I mean, I'm like, but like, I mean, I gotta lock it in. So at this point,
So yeah,
Akeem, hey, I said it.
okay. So
So
he's your wild card.
yeah, I can only pick one. So
Okay. Okay.
because of what I had, the evidence I got to go off of, I think that's what I got to trust more now. But
Okay. I'm sticking with my wild card of Terrence Jones, but I like it. I like it. My name is Anderson from the Final Leg.
And I'm Coach Rob from SCA Track and Field. And thank you for watching this segment from the finish line.
If you want to know what's really going on at the high school and college level, be sure to subscribe to Coach Rob Track and Field.
And if you want more content on the best track and field athletes in the world, be sure to subscribe to the Final Leg.